Okay, Rave here. Okay, I guess I got some stuff to talk about. I was just thinking about this story. I was over there at the 99-cent store, and you know they have these bags, 99-cent store bags. I took some bags with me, some stuff that I need to get. I get the carton of cloves because they're a lot cheaper that way. Way cheaper that way. I was going down there on a daily basis counting my change, which might occur after the end of this week. Depends what happens when I talk to these people on the phone. But this is what we're talking about. They got pink and they got blue. So I always insist on getting the blue. Maybe they want to get rid of the pink. You know, the pink are for the ladies. They got blues for the boys. Pinks for the ladies, blues for the boys. We're talking about the blues, that's for everybody. So, what we wanted to talk about is the story about the pink and why I really don't prefer the pink. Actually, I really didn't mind the pink, except that there was there was an incident the whole school year. I probably just kind of went after the wrong girl, let me put it that way. You know, I always thought she was absolutely wonderful. Thought she was just I guess just the prize of the joy, the prize of my eye. Stole my heart. And I did it all to myself, you know. And it got into a whole lot of things, you know, fights with these guys at school, the tough guys. A lot of the guys, we became friends, and it was cool. Some of the other ones just, you know, couldn't get past that. Just couldn't get past that one. So I could start taking all this stuff out of the bag. You know, I'm a vegetarian. A lot of stuff. My coffee refill at 7-Eleven, $1.25. I like the half and half coffee, the hot chocolate. They got that strawberry cake and the berry cake. I'm a vegetarian. Got the spinach. I'm still going to be making the eggplant parmesan for the coffee. Find the ones without the marshmallows. Marshmallows made with eggs. That's not allowed in my diet. No meat, fish, or eggs. So yeah, there's plenty of stuff here. A lot of the stuff I've been eating, I've been nibbling, I've been making with the potatoes. Needed a whole other bag of potatoes. Yes. Yes. I like my grapefruit, the squirt. I like cactus cooler. Another bag of pasta. Another gonna need another bag of pasta. I guess there's a stuff that's the really fast stuff to make. I don't have to clean a whole lot of stuff up. Then I got the stuff that's a little bit, you know, needs a little more work. And I got stuff that I'm going to be working on. Not all day, but I have cooked a whole Thanksgiving feast from the middle of it, almost the afternoon to 4 in the morning when I finally had my Thanksgiving dinner. I made tons of stuff, and I took stuff to work for well, I put stuff in the freezer and stuff stayed fixed, but I had all this apple cobbler that I took to work, and I still had tons of this candied yams that I took to work. Big glass baking bowls. It was a lot more for me. I was already sugared out. What we wanted to do is put on some tunes, and that was it. Got a whole bunch of the dead air going here. I got all my albums. What are you new down, Rocky? Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out hat. Ooh, wrong hat. Okay, tell that no. And go back. Okay, now playing. As far as I understand, I was listening to the Stranglers. And that guy in that band is Hugh Cornwall. I've always liked the Stranglers. I always loved the Stranglers. I think he's from England. Where's my speakers? Oh, got to plug stuff in. Okay. We kind of got a theater surround sound kind of going with the splitter and the different speakers that I've got. Still need to complete the set with a bar, and I need another bass woofer. Bass woofer works just great. I need another splitter to run now. But you got a bit of a short. It's not powering 2 speakers in stereo, or 2 speaker sets with stereo. But I got it set up. It's working. I'm gonna get the speakers on. So yeah, the story. I mean, you got in a lot of fights with the guys at school. They really toughened me up. I definitely got to admit I made a mistake. But the year before, you know, a pink shirt, you know, a white pair of pants at Northridge Junior High was, you know, it wasn't gay. But the next year at Madison it was. And so then when I went to go buy a notebook, he gave me a pink notebook. So the girl, she definitely was making it known that, you know, it wasn't gonna happen. And I made a comment in the gym, in the gym lockers. And well, I was a new kid on the block. It probably pretty much just got there. Type of a comment, you know, it's kind of bragging or boasting, but yeah, it didn't go over well with those guys either. And they were all her friends their whole life. You know, they went to the birthday parties, they probably played at the park, probably held hands in the 1st grade, you know, probably, you know, swapped spit and shared notes in the 5th grade, you know, probably went steady in the 6th grade. You know, maybe got a Christopher, a St. Christopher. You know, they do those things, they tie the string around the wrist, they have the different knots, kind of like, you know, they love me not sort of thing, kind of going. So, you know, I'm the new kid in the block, I don't even know people. And, but yeah, it toughened me up. You know, one of the guys, you know, he was in my PE class. This was like the 2nd big fight. First big fight, this is what I want to get at, was in the English class. And English, where's my speakers? Oh. A lot of background noise. When I was on I Want to Be Famous, my video had some background noise on it. Some fans were on. So I, you know, kind of made that suggestion, you know, to make sure, you know, I turn off the fans. You know, in a studio type of a setting, you know, it's hush-hush and it's quiet. You have sound rooms and sound booths and panels and baffles and things set up. You know, sound engineered rooms, you know, with the Celotex type walls and ceilings. You know, carpeting, you know, with padding that, you know, absorbs, you know. So it's not like, this room has a lot of acoustics in it. That's why I can have stuff at a low volume and it sounds absolutely fantastic. I love it. When the manager came to the door one day, I fell asleep. I had the rent check here. He was coming to pick it up. And I fell asleep, so when he knocked on the door, I kind of finally woke up. And in fact, the fan blew the check. I had to try to find that, and I was all groggy. I'd been sleeping and trying to find it. And I can't find anything anyways, if it's not where I put it. I have no idea where it went. And of course, the fan could have blew it anywhere. So when I opened up the door, you know, even though it sounded really good, you know, all of a sudden, you know, he got the music and he got the really good sound. You can't hear it outside. I think these apartments are pretty much soundproofed or something. Pretty much, anyways. It's an old building. It's got an old service elevator. I love it out here. Nobody comes up here. In fact, the other night when I came back, my one of the red feathers. In fact, what I want to do is open this up here a little bit, glue this back in here. But the red feather fell off, and it was still sitting there in front of my door. Where did I go? Oh, I went to Bar Sinister. So for the whole evening that I was out, when I came home, the red feather was still on the floor by my front door. If anybody walked by, if there's any wind or anything like that or whatever, it would have blown away. It would have been anywhere. I would have never saw it. When I walked up and I saw the red feather, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You know, I was kind of thinking maybe there was something missing, but I didn't know exactly what. So I've got some peacock feathers. This has some little nice, I like these ones with the little dots. I think those are pheasant feathers. But a peacock is a pheasant. I believe the pheasant is the female and the peacock's the male. So, you know, these are pheasant feathers. So anyways, what had happened was in English, where this specific object of my attraction, actually she's a really cool person. That's probably why I liked her a lot, was it didn't help being a 14-year-old raging hormone maniac. Yeah, I guess we've all gone through that part, you know, and it wasn't exactly like I was stuck on it, but I was stuck on it. But there were other fish in the sea. There were more. There are others, but you know, that probably didn't help either. The reputation, and you know, and you know, settling for like second best or third best or fourth best, you know. I don't think I really turned anything down. Doesn't really seem like a whole lot happened. I think what I want to do is turn on this other light over here too. Looks like I got some really good light this way. Got the light in front of me over here, light in the back. But anyways, what it was we got in a fight in English class. And all the kids were outside of the English class of the bungalow, and it was right over by where PE was, where we finally had our second fight a little later on. And all the kids, they were all smoking cigarettes we were in the 8th grade. This was a junior high school, and you know, right on campus, right outside of the bungalow. And teacher was there, you know, everybody in the class, you know, and everybody else concerned. I think a couple of the girls' friends weren't in their class, and they were over there hanging with her. I got hit in the head. I got really dizzy, and it was like I was stunned, you know, and like chasing my brother around, chasing my stepbrothers around, you know, fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. My mother was always screaming and yelling, "Stop your fighting, stop your fighting," even when we weren't fighting. You know, she was yelling, "Stop your fighting." So, you know, rock fights, oh man, all that crazy stuff. Throw rocks at the train when it goes by and they spark. That's not advisable to do, but where we used to live, it's now all condominiums. It was a ranch. It was on Roscoe. We used to have rodeos down the street. Ronald Reagan owned the ranch. I guess Maureen Reagan or something like that was like, you know, real estate property transactions, things or something like that. And at that time, Reagan was the governor of California. Yeah, he was president of the Actors Guild when my dad was acting. You know, and that's the thing about central casting, things like that, the things that was, you know, my dad's movies, and my dad was in these movies. And he said the same thing. You don't know what you're going to do until you get there. You know, you really don't know the production. You just have like a name of production and a studio lot to get to. You don't know what it's about. You don't know what it is. They just, you know, they'll tell you what type of clothes to bring if you're like a character sensitive or character heavy. You know, they'll tell you what your character is. Like they told me I'd be a school teacher on tour at the White House, and then there's these other people there, like the students. You know, nobody actually built the character, told the plot or anything in the story. We just did the walkthrough and the specific scene, you know, in on a studio lot White House for the show on 1600 Penn. But that's the thing, you know, it's like he was in a lot of classic movies. Enemy Down Below with William Holden, where he gets up off the bunk, sings the song when they surrender at the end. The Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where he's pushing the hospital cart through the hospital as an intern. So anyways, well, I got really dizzy. I got stunned. I couldn't fight. You know, I couldn't move my arms or anything. I felt like I was going to pass out. And I didn't smoke, and they were all smoking cigarettes, and that was making me dizzy. You know, just the summer before that, we had experimented with cigarettes, my brother and my stepbrother smoking. At my dad's house, where I lived at summer in Cable Canyon, the rules were, you're allowed to smoke when you're 13, but you have to buy your own cigarettes. You know, and we did things like collected bottles and things like that, and gathered up enough money to go on the go-karts. And that was over there. It's now Home Depot, but it was on Balboa and Roscoe. There was a car wash across the street. We'd collect the bottles and walk up and down the streets and go to the liquor store and go through the trash and pull out all the bottles and cash them in. So, you know, that's where we got our money for things. So, you know, cigarettes were only like 60 cents, 80 cents. There were always these coin-operated cigarette machines that you pull, and, you know, and there was one up in the canyon. You know, they started to move those things. You know, they know minors buy them. They're, you know, I guess a lot of the criticism, a lot of laws that were passed, you know, about those things, where it's easily accessible to minors. Nobody's condoning it and allowing a minor to come to it, but a minor can have access to it. You know, they were talking about, you know, marketing cigarettes to minors and things like that. So anyways, this whole thing went on for a whole school year, and this thing, well, I guess, you know, this whole thing that was kind of going around with the pink notebook now and the pink T-shirt and whatever else that turned up that was pink, you know, or you know, a girl's color or whatever, kind of got our bad reputation of our. You know, but, you know, the thing was, what was that? That was the 8th grade. Now, the 9th grade was a lot more better. I believe that the two of us pretty much ground our teeth into the nail on that one. At the end of the school year, after graduation, everybody was outside at the school. You know, I went back over after graduation, rode my bike over there. They all wanted to get together. So there was the girl, there were 3 of her friends, there was the guys that I was fighting with, the Scamaldos, Humphreys, and there was this other Clark. Had a great day at the beach with Porter. Porter and the girls were at the beach. They used to have a beach bus, it was 25 cents. So, you know, everything worked out. I was just kind of like the new kid on the block. It was a little tough. It toughened me up. Then the other time, me and Fred Berger, we got in a fight in PE and volleyball. And he pissed me off, and I just couldn't handle it. And everybody in the whole school heard me yelling and screaming, Fred Berger, I'm gonna get you. And everybody came out of their classroom and looked, and there we are, we're fighting again. The two classic, you know, what we're fighting over is like, I have no idea. We were pissed off. This thing with the chick, I'd like to forget it. I'd like to, but, you know, that ain't gonna happen. I was, you know, pretty much had an open heart for that one. You know, an open door policy, let's say anything can happen. You know, and we had another run in at the mall, and she was yelling at me, I wouldn't hit a girl, and they were kind of poking and hitting me, and I wouldn't hit a girl. And so the security guard came and kicked me out. So I guess I was going to go roller skating, ice skating, that was where the ice capade chalet was, but ended up getting kicked out. Wouldn't mind taking on her buddies there. They're kind of pretty cool too, you know. Or those hip huggers, those crotch tops, you know. And, you know, things start showing, and boys start noticing, you know. Maybe there's some certain things about boys that girls start noticing. I don't know, especially as much as an asshole a guy can be. That's gotta be number one on the list. Maybe that's the first thing to notice. He's gotta be a prick. Oh man, what a cock. Yeah, so anyway, so that's what happened with that sort of thing. So yeah, I just want to get on there because, you know, he's going to sell me another pink one. I go, no, please, not a pink one. I got a real issue with pink. I don't mind it, but yeah, you know, pretty much just stay away from that, you know. Yeah, don't need to open up another can of worms when somebody else pulling out that. But yeah, I got some stuff I got to put away. What are we talking about? Roger's Rave. Yeah, I did want to tell that story. Yeah, I guess what these videos and things are coming out with is, you know, like a video presentation of Roger's Rave, I'll call them, that was being published in Lost Anarchy. Now, I don't know when the last time I was published. I did submit an article and I was asked to shorten it up. You know, he puts the blurbs and stuff in the comic type settings with the different characters. A lot of these characters are real people that are really associated with us, and a lot of these characters, you know, like science fiction characters, science fiction goth characters, but a lot of those models, a lot of those girls that are on there, the women in Lost Anarchy are real models, the real girls. You know, same sort of thing that you'd see, like, you know, a Bar Sinister. You know, they have their little thing, you know, their little stage thing going, you know, and the actresses and different actors, performers, you know, and they're all skinny down and really, really, really exposed. You know, maybe it's just some electrical tape just to keep it legal. You know, in some cases, a lot of cases. You know, and that's where you have to be an adult. You know, this isn't where, you know, you're not playing grab ass with strangers and things like that. You know, if there's somebody that you know, and you know, and when they usually come up and give you a handshake or give you a pat on the back, give you a hug, maybe a small little kiss on the cheek, you know, maybe a little breath, a little kiss on the neck. You know, that's always nice. That's cool. You know, and that's pretty much as far as, you know, those things have gone. But you know, I get involved with these people too. You know, like the other person I exhibit the artwork for. You know, she's really, really nice, and she's, you know, very intimate type of setting. You know, she's a lady, respect her as a lady. You know, be a gentleman about things. You know, so hey, stay away from pink notebooks and don't be a jerk in the locker room. And I guess maybe just don't be talking about nothing that's nobody else's business, I guess. Yeah, it was cool. Last time I saw her, I was Grant High School. I was Jack London Continuation School. I really like Jack London. Jack London's got that thing. He wrote the he's an American author. You know, always kind of had like, you know, whenever you see his pictures and stuff, Jack London, Admiral Byrd, you know, sort of thing, you know, the Jack London sort of thing, you know. He was an American author. I'm trying to think of what he wrote. Call of the Wild, where the animals were talking in the forest, the coyotes, the wolves. Call of the Wild. You know, when my mom was reading this in summer, you know, the dialogue at first, you know, I thought these were people and things like that. You know, but, you know, as things are going on, I'm going, oh, these are the forest animals. They're kind of like that Jungle Book. You know, the Kipling Jungle Book. You know, Disney made an animation, and there's a classic feature of Jungle Book. You know, and it shows you something really interesting. They don't get into a lot of details and everything, but the way that an elephant loses his independence, this is how they catch an elephant, the way an elephant loses his independence, is that there's a trap. They dig a really big hole, and they cover it up, camouflage it, make it just look like all the rest of the jungle, the area there. And a specially trained female elephant attracts the male elephant, and she runs. And she runs along a specific course, and she goes around the hole. She goes around the camouflage trap. And the male elephant, being wild and not being trained, he falls in. So, anyways, they showed that in the original, in the beginning of a movie, I believe it is, in the original Jungle Book, where they actually looks like it's being shot on location in India. You know, I guess a lot of jungle movies were popular. You know, Jungle Jim and the original Tarzan and things like that. In fact, the guy that played Tarzan, I'll remember his name in a minute. My sister worked at a convalescent hospital, and he was there, and she said, I don't know how often this occurred, or just you know, I wouldn't want to say, you know, how healthy or somebody would be or not, but generally, you know, that's where you want to go. They've got some retirement homes for people that were in the studios their whole life. My aunt cousin Margie, she had an application in for a place, and she was selling her condo and was going to get one of these motion picture places, and the way that she described it, it sounded really nice, comparable to the condo that she has now, kind of thing, you know, the kitchen, the ninettes, the bedroom, you know, so, you know, not a bad thing. You know, they got out here at the Knickerbocker. You know, it depends how much my retirement would be. I'd be coming up retirement age, maybe about another 4, 5 to 7 years, depending on the laws. It seems like the laws change an awful lot. I'd be 60 in 4 years, so I'd be 65 in 9 years. So somewhere between 60 and 65, somewhere between in 4 years and in 9 years. But what it is that they take like 2/3 of your retirement, your pension. So that means you have 1/3 left, and then you rent your motel room at the Knickerbocker. So that's a good place for people that are retired in their area. You know, they've been granted permanent residency at other, you know, like the place at the Gilbert. You know, where, you know, you've been there long enough, you're in the industry, they'll grant you permanent residence, so you don't have to keep moving out, moving back in every 14 days. You know, and with permanent residency, you know, I saw some of the people down there, you know, they were old, retired Hollywood type, you know, and they had their hot plate ovens and stuff in there that aren't allowed. You know, but they had them, and they had residency. You know, so there's a lot to say, and a lot to talk about and stuff. So I guess Roger Rave coming at you. It looks like I'm like holding up, and make sure you grab one of these. I got some stuff to put away. I get my recipes, most of my recipes at totalveg.com, and it's a spiritual site. It's my spiritual group site. And it's real Indian cuisine, plus, you know, stuff like Mexican dishes, Italian dishes. Got great contributions from the best vegetarian chefs from all around the world, like one in Australia. He's very, very popular. Some of the cooks that are on the farm that used to cook for Srila Prabhupada personally. And then, you know, if I'm actually looking something up specific, you know, I use, you know, certain substitutes for, you know, garlic and onions. And I use, you know, substitutes for eggs and yeast and things like that. You know, I can look stuff up from other sites too. And, you know, and just do my thing with it. So, yeah, and that's the thing about the video editing software. I gotta process this stuff, make sure that it can be compatible in Windows Media Maker. That's what I'm using. And maybe I might even look into another media player. I guess a couple of the movie players that I have on Media Player is has the movie making properties and things like that. Maybe I can look in there a little more text, a little more creative text for the, you know, credits and the captions and things like that. So this is a thing as well. Guitar is going to be a documentary, and you know, I want to include my music, and then, you know, what I want to do is just go into the time periods, you know, like the Resistance at Deafening Studios in 1984, and the guys that were hanging out in the band. In fact, Jack was our bass player, and I was hanging out with Kevin. So then their other buddy Danny. So Danny and this guy Marty and Kurt, they all started a company called Creative Closet Company. So I was working for Danny and Marty in 1995. So, you know, I have a background with these guys. I was hanging out with them forever, for years. I was living with them over their house in Lassen. Kurt's mom, we just call her M. She says everybody calls her mom. You know, she did the cooking. She made his cheesecake. She made divinity. She made big giant pots of spaghetti and lasagna. You know, she treated us like her mom. For her birthday, I got a job at Lumber City, and I got an employee discount. This stuff was on sale already anyways. I got this big giant Bunn coffee maker that was a double coffee pot for the top and the bottom, just like in the restaurants. And she said she used to work in the diners. She worked in the diners in Hollywood, and she told me about a lot of the people that came into the diner in Hollywood where she worked. And she was a dancer. She's performed at Peppermint Lounge. So anyways, what did it was the Bunn coffee maker, and I got her something else too. Oh, and she loved it. She just put her hand on it. It always had a supply of hot water, always, for tea, hot water for anything else, instant oatmeal or anything like that. And the dual pot for the coffees. It had Jetstream. It made coffee in seconds flat, and it was good brewed coffee too. It had this Jetstream technology system in it. And I got her something. I think I got her like a blender or a mixer or something like that. I got her some stuff for the kitchen. Something that we all could use with the coffee pot maker, and there were so many of us over there anyways, and dual coffee pot. That was definitely happening. She was drinking coffee all day, doing all her stuff. She was really good with the lottery. She used to hand me some tickets and say, go get us both a pack of cigarettes and get yourself something to drink. And, you know, and she'd give me some other tickets. She goes, now this ticket is this much, this ticket is this much, this ticket is this much. Go cash this in. Here's the grocery list. Go over to the market, pick up a few stuff, things that I still need. Now, you know, so she was really good with the lottery and the lotto. And so she was really good at that. So she had these tickets. They were like $5 tickets, $10 tickets, $15 tickets. You know, we went to the horse races, and the very first race I ever saw was, in fact, we're not allowed to engage in speculative sports or gambling or ventures. But the first horse race I ever went to, that I ever saw, and I just had like the $5, the $5. The horses won. So what I ended up with, like $15 or $20 or something like that. She had some sort of thing. She had the racing green, and she was looking up at the monitors, and she was putting a thing together. And so I'll put in on that. So yeah, I got some things I got to put away, some things I got to do. We got the jam nights now. I've been looking for a jam night. I went out there to Cantor's Kibitz Room, you know, and you know, you got the Willie Chambers band playing, you know, and they got the people they're doing. It looks like they have stand-up musicians or jam night starting at like 10 o'clock, 10 to 11 or something like that. It was earlier. Then Willie Chambers comes in at 11. Tequila comes in at 12. So that's a good place to hang out. I was hoping to, you know, hook up with some of the guys, maybe get a band going, maybe, you know, get in there and do the stand-up. Yeah, I just kind of wonder just exactly how much I can do with this thing. You know, just to make it look natural. But, you know, I'm not hiding anything. I'm not hiding behind anything. This is an improvement. It's a lot more expressionistic. You know, it seems like there's a lot of expression that's lost. You know, where, you know, this, you know, I seem to be an animate person, I guess, maybe. You know, maybe I misunderstood a little bit. You know, but this has a lot more expression. It seems to be a lot more friendlier. This old balding guy in his middle age is going to be coming up for retirement. And, 4 years. For a while there, my back injury, I had so much pain. I just couldn't take all that jarring on the public transportation system, so I was supporting myself with a cane. You know, it's just bone against bone, you know. I'm feeling so much better now. I feel good and light. I'm not in as much pain as I used to be. You know, that was one of the contributing factors, and I've really taken care of it and things, so I'm not walking around with my cane anymore. You know? Yeah, not that I'm being deceptive or anything like that. I'm not going to lie about my age, lie about who I am, you know, what I'm trying to do. You know, I didn't want this to be regular fixtures. I did get a call today. They're submitting my resume over to their client for consideration, and that was pretty fast. It's a little bit less money than what I was making. About $4, $5 less than I was making. I don't know if they have commissions or not, but I did math work. Still pays my rent. You know, it only ended up to be about $500 less than I was currently making a month. So that's cool. That's definitely manageable. You know, it's not that I was going without anything or anything like that. So. But yeah, things are looking up. And looking up. I'm looking up. Oh, there you go. Roger Rave. Roger now. Oh, I should have like a way that I kind of end these. You go, okay, Roger Rave for Roger Rave. Now, don't forget Roger Rave on 365 Radio. Don't forget Roger Rave on Angel Fire. Don't forget. What is it? Oh, the documentary. I put the demo up there. It's got some serious textos. It's sound and engineering, and then L Junior or JLR or something like that. And then I just need to edit some of the format where, you know, based on a classic movie, and, you know, Arch Hall Jr. That's all spaced out. So I fixed that, and I gotta work on this in pieces and put it back together. But that's the thing. I put the videos in there, and then all of a sudden, you know, it took an hour or half an hour or how long I waited for the thing to save, and then it's telling me it's got errors, that it can't read the specific file format, the specific media. So then I gotta go in there and you know, process that and convert that so it'd be friendly. And then, you know, I need to, you know, to get the video cutter. So what I did, I put the software on both computers, so I don't have like one set of software here, put it on a disk, put it down over here, work on it, manipulate it over here, make sure I have my files between both computers and the disk all together in sync with all my new improvements, and put back over here and make sure that I'm getting the right file format in there, the right file in the right folder. So I just put the software on both computers. And that's going to be a lot more easier for me to go ahead and manipulate these things as well. I'm waiting for something to upload, or I'm waiting for something to save. Or, you know, I can be, you know, multitasking and working on the other parts and other aspects that I get. It's like, oh, I got this really good idea, and I kind of put it in there. I say, oh, that looks really good, and I like that. And then, you know, error and all that stuff. So, but it's in a state of evolution. But what I want to do is kind of go over this thing, like the Deafening Studios in 1984. It's hanging out at the Cathay de Grande. It was Top Jimmy and the Rhythm Pigs, Carlos Guitarlos, Jam Night. Gene Taylor of the Blasters was playing with Carlos Guitarlos, playing the piano and all that stuff. You know, Rhythm Pigs. Bill Bateman was hanging out with us mostly a lot. Dave Alvin, and then Phil Alvin. There was I wrote for a band called Parts and Labor at. They were a rockabilly band at Club Lingerie, and they were opening up for the Blasters. And so Los Lobos came in there all on a tour. They were on tour with Motels. So Los Lobos came in there, X came in there, was hanging out with Billy Zoom and John Doe and all that. So they're all, you know, all friends, all in the same circuit, you know, all do the same thing. But Billy Zoom was hanging out at the Zero. I was hanging out up there. You know, I don't think we actually really had a discussion, but I was sitting on the couch and you know, having a drink, and where they were, wherever that was happening, whatever. You know, Billy Zoom came back, kicked back. You know, head back to the couch. Just kind of crashed. So, anyways, Yeah, Roger Rave.
Roger Rave. This is Roger Rave for Roger Rave, and this is Roger and out.